Welcome to Rising with Soccer.
Hello everyone, coming to the second quarterfinal match in Euro 2020, that is Belgium versus Italy. Let's look into lineup and formations for both teams. Belgium is in orange and Italy is in blue. Thibaut Courtois will be starting in goal for them, and they will be going with the 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 formation. Courtois in goal, then Vertonghen, Vermaelen, and Alderweireld in as a centre back partners. Then Thorgan Hazard on left wing back role. On right wing back role, we will be having Thomas Meunier. In central midfield partnership, we will be having Axel Witsel and Yuri Tillmans because Kevin De Bruyne got injured in last game and Eden Hazard has a hamstring problem, so they do both of them won't be featuring in the game against Italy. Coming to the attackers, we will be having Carrasco, Atletico Madrid player, then Romelu Lukaku, Inter player, and Dries Mertens, Napoli player. Let's look into Italian lineup information. Italy will be going with the classic 4-3-3 formation with Gianluigi Donnarumma and goal. I hope Chiellini starts this game with Bonucci as a centre back partners. On right back role, we will be having Di Lorenzo. On left back role, we will be having Spinazzola. Spinazzola has been absolute gem of a player in this tournament. In CDM role, we will be having Jorginho, then Nico Barella, then we will be having Marco Verratti. Attacking, I am going with Lorenzo Insigne in left side. Striker will be Ciro Immobile. And on right wing, we'll be having Berardi. Chiesa impressed me a lot in last game. Came as a substitute, scored a goal for Italy against Austria. But I guess Mancini will be going with Berardi only because Berardi is having a good physique and he always tried. He's very attack minded, which they need to be against Belgium. Let's look into key battles on the pitch between the teams. The very first battle on the pitch will be Romelu Lukaku versus Belgium defense. That is Bonucci, Chiellini, or HRV. Who will be starting? I'm hoping Chiellini will start, but HRV can also start. And to be honest, looking at this, Romelu Lukaku has been fantastic in Serie A this season. He scored a lot of goals. He is having experience against Italian defenders because he is playing in Italian league. Looking at these three great players, Gianluigi Donnarumma and in goal, Bonucci and Chiellini. I'm having a lot of confidence on these three players, and I think they will be able to keep Romelu Lukaku at bay from scoring. But so I guess from here we can see Romelu Lukaku can be neutralized by these two defenders. Then coming to the attacking of Italy, we are having Ciro Immobile. Ciro Immobile has not been up to mark in Australia's game. He took a one shot from outside the box, which hit the post. If it would have gone in, it would have been one of the nominee of goal of the tournament, but it could not go in. He is a strong-minded player. He likes to attack, and he most of the times his confidence is not that great level, but he tries to attack. So it's a good thing. But still, Vermaelen, Vertonghen, and Alderweireld, looking at those players, I guess Ciro Immobile is having uh, not that great against these players because these players are having experience and they can easily neutralize the threat of Ciro Immobile. Looking at Berardi versus Vertonghen, Vertonghen is not that much PC player. So and Berardi, we have seen Berardi likes to cut inside and he likes to cross the ball also. So Berardi is the that player which can cause Belgium defense a lot of problems if at all he is not contained at initial stages of the game. So I guess here is a key battle: Vertonghen versus uh, Domenico Berardi. Then coming to the left wing of Italy, we know Lorenzo Insigne and Spinazzola. Lorenzo Insigne is not that pacey, but Spinazzola is. And most of the time, whenever Insigne receives the ball, Spinazzola overlaps him, and he likes to enter into this space to provide a cross. Otherwise, sometimes he also enters inside this goal, and Lorenzo Insigne tries to stay wide. So this can also happen. Otherwise, Insigne also can help in attack. and during that time Varati can be in these levels, because if at all Spinazzola is not able to find any player who is able to take the cross, he can simply pass the ball back to Verratti, and Verratti can change the direction from where they are attacking. So this part of the pitch will be very crowded in tomorrow's game, I guess, because Italy would be Italy is very fantastic on the left wing, because Lorenzo Insigne, Spinazzola, and Verratti will be there. Domenico Berardi, obviously, he is a very much threat from right wing, but Di Lorenzo mostly will be helping in centre backs, because their shape is obviously 4-3-3. But whenever the game starts with the Spinazzola going up the pitch, they shift to three man defense, which comes like this, and then Di Lorenzo helps in defending. So we can see that Domenico Berardi will be having only Nicola Barrera to pass the ball on the right wing side, and sometimes Lorenzo Insigne, Di Lorenzo whenever he will be there. But most of the time he'll be defending. So Nicola Barrera. So this is the one triangle which will work for Italy. That is Ciro Immobile, Berardi, Barrera. Another triangle will be uh, Lorenzo Insigne, Marco Verratti, and Spinazzola. And then there comes the main man of this Italian team, the brain of the team, that is Jorginho. Jorginho tries to help in attack. He sees where he can overload. Like you can see here, if we see from the perspective of Belgium, Belgium players like to defend also. So we have seen in the last match also, their attackers attackers other than Lukaku also come back to defense. So you can see on the left wing tomorrow we will be seeing Yuri Tillmans, Dries Mertens. Dries Mertens is playing for Napoli for since very long time, so he also knows these Italian players how they play and what their game is. So he will be very crucial to dismantle Italy if at all possible. So he will be there to watch Lorenzo Insigne, because they are two are buddies of each other. So this will be there. So you can see here, we can see a situation where four against three of Belgium's four players, or say at least three players will be there. So that time what can happen is Marco Verratti can drop this way, and Jorginho can help coming this year. So he can, so they are having equal players proportion, like 4 versus 4. And here they can create a short passes, which we have seen against Austria also. Italy likes to play compact and short passes. They have skillful players, quality players, which who can handle that. So that will be very difficult to handle for Belgium, because they need to intercept these kind of balls, short passes, where the Italian attack can strike. And if at all Italy doesn't get ahead from this area, they can Jorginho can play say inside middle. He can pass to Barella. Barella will go attacking, and whenever someone will be trying to attack him, it can be Axel Witsel or Vertonghen. He will surely pass to Berardi, and Berardi will break the defensive line, and he can start attacking. So this is one triangle, this is one triangle, and Jorginho can join any triangle whenever according to the player overload. And looking at Belgium, Belgium will be without their two creative players, one KDB and second one Eden Hazard. So it will be difficult for them to create chances, but still they are having Yannick Carrasco from Atletico Madrid and Thorgan Hazard from Borussia Dortmund. These two players are very dangerous. So looking at Di Lorenzo, if these two players link up well, it will be very hard for Di Lorenzo to keep up against these players, because we have seen in last game also against Portugal, Thorgan Hazard had the ball here. Lukaku passed him the ball here, and he just took a shot from outside the box, and it was a very nice curler. I absolutely love that goal, and he can do that again and again. So this left wing of Belgium also is very difficult to handle. So if at all whoever will be controlling the position of the ball in the middle of the pitch, that team will be rolling ahead. And as we have seen, Belgium can do counter attacks also. They are having very pacey players in Yannick Carrasco and Dries Mertens, and even Thomas Munier. Thomas Munier will be needing to go. He can also attack. He can also defend. So he is also good player. But on left wing, his hand will be filled with the Insigne, Spinazzola, and mostly Varati. So I'm seeing only one avenue of attack for Belgium, that is from left wing, and otherwise they can also do counter attacks because they are having pacey players. But this is what you will be seeing most of the time in tomorrow's game. uh, and if at all Chiesa comes, then this structure will be changed to right hand side. So it will be a great game to watch. And one more thing which I'm having problem with is Italy is having lot of short guys. They don't have players with 6+ height, whereas Belgium is having Lukaku, Yannick Carrasco, Thomas Munier, Vertonghen, Vermaelen, then Alderweireld. These all 4 5 players are having height more than 6. And Italians are only having Ciro Immobile, Bonucci, and Cellini, and Spinazzola. Only these players are having height more than 5'10", I guess. So whenever set pieces like if at all Belgium gets corners, Belgium can surely score a goal from corners because they are deadly in air, because they are having a height advantage there. Otherwise, if they get free kicks also, they can also provide chances for their attacking players here who can hit the ball inside the goal. So set pieces, Italy needs to be aware because of the height disadvantage. Other than that, I guess it will be a good game to watch. The best thing is the game will be played at Allianz Arena, Munich. So it's a neutral venue. Looking at the players to watch, I will be saying Romelu Lukaku is the player to watch because he is playing in Italy in last season and he won the Serie A and he has scored a lot of goals. So he is the player to watch. And from Italy team, I'm going with Ciro Immobile because in last game he could not get a goal, but he has that hunger to score a goal and take Italy into the next rounds. So I'm hoping Ciro Immobile will be able to score the goal in this game. This is the very difficult match to predict, to be honest. But I'm going with Italy with a scoreline of 2-1, and hopefully they will go through and into the next round to the semi-final. Looking at last matches of both teams, we can see Federico Chiesa and Matteo Pessina scored in the extra time, and Austria tried scored goal Karadzic. It was a good goal. It was from set piece only, corner goal it was. And looking at this, we can see Italy is very attacking team nowadays. Previously, we used to see Italy as a very defensive team, but nowadays they are attacking also. 27 shots, shot accuracy is very bad. 6 only on target. Position, they tried keeping position. Austria was very uh, pressing them very high up the pitch, and Austria put a lot of energy in that game. At one moment, I was thinking Austria might win this game, but Italy got the control of the game in the added extra time first half, and they scored the goals. And looking at passing accuracy, you can see they were always better than Austria. And they got 4 corners, 4 offsides. These 4 offsides are nothing but how much direct counter attack or long balls they were trying to provide to it. And they also fouled 10 times. So we can see they also know how to do the tactical, technical fouls. Looking at Belgium's game versus Portugal, you can see Portugal completely dominated that game. 23 shots, 4 on target, 6 shots, 1 on target. I know shot accuracy of Portugal is really bad, but still you can see possession wise also Portugal was better. Passing accuracy wise also they were better. Corners also they got 3 corners against Belgium. Belgium didn't got any corner against Portugal. 3 offsides. That means Portugal was also trying to get the long direct balls to their attackers, but that did not capitalized. And if we see from 2015 Belgium versus Italy international friendly, in which Belgium won that game against Italy, and in 2016 Belgium versus Italy, we can see Italy won that game, which was in UEFA Championship, European Championship. So we can see both teams have won 1-1 match in their last 2 played games in 2015 2016. So this will be kind of a tiebreaker for them, and I'm hoping Italy will come out of it. And if we see the overall Euro stats of both teams, we can see Italy dominated in most of the aspects. Looking at the high turnovers, they had 33, whereas Belgium has 23. Shot ending at halftime, you can see 9 from Italy, and goal ending at halftime 2. Then pressing sequentials of 55. Belgium is not that bad, but still a build of 17 build-ups. Belgium tries to do direct attacks, so uh, still Italy has a build-ups also, more direct attacks by Italy, but they couldn't score on that. And looking at the 10 plus passes, only that area where Belgium is leading. Otherwise, Italy's tournament has been phenomenon, and I'm hoping Italy will be going to the semis. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned.